Yo guys, what's going on? Life of Rio here, and guys, I am bringing you guys my Orvius build, a breakdown and how this weapon actually truly holds up in endgame content. So guys, that's my boy Naros back there in the back looking sexy. You know, you gotta look great. If you're gonna die, you gotta look great. If you're just gonna chill it for the day, you know, get a cup of coffee, looking fantastic. Alright, so here's the thing guys. The Orvius is a fantastic weapon, has unique mechanics to it, so I'm gonna do a breakdown for you guys. Now, the Orvius is in the glaive family of throwing weapons, and so with the glaive, the special thing about the glaive was that the glaive had an explosion build that went for the glaive, which was what made it amazing. And the Orvius has a special mechanic to it as well. And the special mechanic towards the Orvius is that it has basically a channeling effect, and the channel effect basically holds the enemy up in the air, it suspends the enemy, and then it applies the damage. So you know what we're about to do. You guys know. You're looking at this video thinking, Rio, you're about to do it. You know we're using gas. You know we're using the gas. So with gas, you can really abuse this damage with the stealth multiplier on gas because of how they're going to be unaware and you put enemies to sleep, or you can just take out a cup of salt in your pocket from a Naros and just throw it in somebody's eyes, and then everything else is great. So we're going to jump into this weapon, show you guys how to use it, show you guys a build, and just a general concept of how I feel about the weapon. So let's go ahead and let's jump back into a Naros. Alright, so the thing about this, guys, let me go ahead and show you guys the combos. One, this is Astro Twilight. I love the combos on these weapons, especially on throwing weapons, period. It just looks sexy. Look at that. It looks like I'm walking a dog with a yo-yo. It just looks amazing. Now I'm taking the dog 360. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But that did look amazing, right? The main functionality of what you want to do with these weapons is that you need to have your weapon equipped in your hand. And this is Teshin's weapon, by the way. So Teshin actually came through for the first time. Now the only thing I need from Teshin is the dual Nakanas. Those look sexy. So the thing is with this weapon is that you want to throw the weapon, right? Now the thing is, for me, since charge attack was introduced back into the game, I kind of not really like using throwing weapons all too much, just because of this little scenario right here, just because of how you swing it and then throw it. That kind of became really tedious for me, and then in high level content it kind of really makes it bad for you on your survivability, because you lose a couple frames of survivability just to swing the weapon and then throw it. It's kind of obnoxious. It's a little tedious for me to say of why I'm complaining about it, but that's honestly been the reason why I haven't used throwing weapons. And now guys, the thing about it is, like I've said, you'll never swing this weapon, you'll only throw this weapon. And so when you throw the weapon, what's going to happen is you're going to do a lot of damage. When you blind them with Inaros' first ability, put them to sleep with Ivara's arrows, or put them to sleep also with Equinox's ability. Multiple different frames how you can get up these stealth mechanics. And also if you use Blast, or just use a ground slam and knock the enemies down, throw the weapon, you can also reapply the stealth multiplier because of blast procs when the enemies are waking up. When they're getting up off the ground, it also opens up room for stealth multipliers within that 1 second frame of getting up off the ground. So here's the other thing about this, guys, that's really awesome, is that to really use this weapon at its highest potential is that you want to hold the channeling button. Channeling button for newer players is when you're glowing like this, and then you hold it and then you're going to throw it. And what's going to happen, you're going to suspend the enemies in the air, and I'm about to show you guys that right now. So the jump attack on this thing actually looks pretty sweet. Nah, I'm not even going to lie, that looks pretty freaking awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into this real quick. Let me show you guys the build. And this is the build for the Orvius. Now this build requires no formers. It's actually pretty easy. No formers with prime pressure point. Now the thing is, with Whirlwind is actually subjected to change. Spoil Strike on this weapon doesn't hurt the weapon any, because the overall 100% damage applies itself to the special effect of the Orvius. So you can either switch out Whirlwind for Prime Fury, and I'll show you guys how Prime Fury works on this weapon. So if you switch out Whirlwind for Prime Fury, what it's going to do is that it's going to speed up the animation to how you throw the weapon. So you see how much faster he grabs the weapon and throw it. Prime Fury's main thing is that it speeds up the animation on how you do things. So that's really important. But the thing is, you have to wait longer for it to come back. Now with this, I like to actually use Whirlwind. My personal preference, guys, Whirlwind actually works a lot better for me. Yes, the animation is slower, but not by too much. And so the thing about it is, is that when you throw it with Whirlwind on, it's going to come back to you a lot faster. So you don't have to wait as long, which basically increases your DPS. This would almost be considered like a speed trigger in melee weapons, so on throwing weapons overall. So it's pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and spawn some level 130s out here. And what we're going to do is that like I said, we're going to abuse the stealth multiplier on this weapon with the gas procs. So that's what makes it awesome. So a lot of people think that you should only channel. Actually, if you hold the weapon and throw it, it actually does substantial damage. It can bounce between the enemies, and then when it bounces between the enemies, it actually applies the gas effect. And as you guys can see, just one throw actually took off that much damage. And as you guys can see how much damage, where's this guy? Look how much damage he's lost. Excuse me guys, I'm trying to pay attention to something. So as you guys can see, just one little simple throw and it took him to less than half. And so it just depends on if they're in a group, it can bounce around and hit all these targets for you and then just reapply different effects. So let me tell you guys on how this works right now. This is how this goes down. You charge it. Oh my god, guys, come on, stay blinded, please. Just stay blinded. There we go. So we blind them, and then the stealth multiplier of the gas takes effect and hit all of these enemies. Well, the enemies in range. Now the new mechanics with the stealth multiplier is that it can chain to different level enemies with the stealth increase. So what's gonna happen is that you need a 2-meter radius between each enemy. Each enemy has to be between 2 meters of each other, within 2 to 3 meters of each other to get the stealth multiplier. If they're at 4 to 5 meters, the stealth multiplier won't chain to those enemies. So 2 to 3 meters. So it's really great if you have an invisibility frame and then you put the enemies all together in a, basically, let's say a group scenario. You put them all together and then use it, and then you could take them all out with one hit. And what would be great is Ivara's noise arrows bring them all together, and then you put them all to sleep in a huge scenario. So that'll be really, really awesome. So we can do this right now and see how these guys are close together. What you're gonna do is you're gonna throw it, and then when you throw it, it's just gonna apply itself to a group scenario, as you guys can see right now, which is amazing. And you see how that guy wasn't affected, which is because he wasn't within the 2-meter radius. So overall, how do I feel about the Orvius? I think the Orvius is great. I think it's a fantastic weapon. I think you should pick it up because it's so easy to get. Also, you just gotta knock it out, man. Pretty simple weapon. Now, would I use the Orvius? It's not my playstyle, but I know a lot of people do like throwing weapons, and I really do hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to share this video as well. That will help the channel a lot, and I will catch you guys later on the next Warframe video. But also, guys, be sure to click the link in the description to follow me on Twitch and join the Discord. There is a Discord for all of you awesome freaking people that follow me, and I love you guys, man. Take care, and I'll catch you guys later on the next Warframe video. Wait, I really thought I was gonna end it like in a cool way, but I didn't. We'll end it with the 10-0. Alright, man. Oh, that looked kind of weird. Alright, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Take care, man.